It's Big Board Sports with Roger Ryland on 104.5 The Team.
Let's bring on Will Brown, and of course we didn't get home till 2:30 in the morning. Going through the Berkshires last night was a little bit dicey. My speed went from about 65, 70 down to about 35, and it took us a little bit longer to get home. And then that game did not tip until 8:30 as opposed to 8. I don't know what was going on with the game before, but we never tipped. We meaning UAlbany last night against Brown until 8:30, and you hear all UAlbany men's basketball games on 104.5 The Team. We are the home of UAlbany men's basketball, as a lot of people
remind you.
Yeah, they remind me of that all the time.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring on the coach, Will Brown, who I think I felt like I just finished interviewing you on the air from the Mohegan Sun. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. Always good to talk to a couple of UA homers. Where's Will Brown Jr.? I mean, Zach By.
He has the day off today. Chris Honorado filling in for Zachary. But you notice in the post game with Zach and I did not bring up Siena. I left it go, figuring there'd be a lot of time this week to get into it. But
sure.
Guess who did get into it after the game? That would be my boy Tim Wilkin.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I knew he would ask the question, and then you gave him.
And I already answered this stuff, for Tim once, but you wanted to talk about it, a little bit more, and my stance really didn't change.
Are you? Let me ask you this: are you? Is this a game going back and forth between you and Jimmy? Or are you really upset over some of what he said? I mean, how much is this just having a little bit of fun, throwing it out there with the media, getting some headlines, or are you really down deep not happy with him right now?
I like Jimmy, so I'll make that clear. But there's very little fun on my part. The problem is when you attack my program, I'm going to defend my program. His team is too good right now to be worrying about my program. I mean, when you make comments like, Will and his JUCO players beat every game on his schedule. We did them a favor 10 years ago by playing this game. We'll never go to the Times Union Center again. You know what? Just worry about your own program. I mean, I'm not going to get into what do you mean by those JUCO players. It would be very easy for me to comment about what's going on in his program, but I'm not worried about his program. I've got to worry about mine and run the best program that I can run. I think we have a good program, a winning program, and we do it with wonderful kids who are great representatives of our program and do a tremendous job, in the classroom. But when I feel that there's subtle jabs, at my program, I mean, like I said, if you want to do comedy, we've got some great spots in the Albany area, the Palace Theater, Proctor's, all that stuff. Go do it. But, I just, like I said, if he wants to, poke fun at me a little bit and all that stuff, for whatever reason, that's good. But, for as long as we do these things, Roger and Chris, ultimately the ADs and to a lesser extent presidents, make these decisions, anyway. But, I think it's, insulting to take subtle jabs when it's not necessary. So this is not, I'll say it again. I like Jimmy. He's a good dude. But, I mean, you need to be careful what you say, especially when you're trying to be critical of one program, because you're opening yourself up, for people to be critical of your program. And my goal is not to be critical of his program. I've got to worry about my own. I just felt that what he said was unnecessary, and I thought, I don't think Will Brown Jr., also known as Zach By, I don't think he crossed the line one bit, and I don't think that was fair to Zach, either. I would never attack, Tommy Herter or Robert Lee, who, were the Siena radio and TV guys, just out of respect, unless they absolutely gave me a reason to, and I don't think Zach gave him any reason to. So I look at Zach as part of our team. Roger, you're part of our team. Chris, even you can't wear purple, you got to be unbiased. You guys are part of our team, and I'm going to defend my team. I mean, we've worked hard to build a program that's been eligible for the NCAA tournament for 15 years. We've gone 5 times. We've played in 7 postseason tournaments. We've done a nice job here, and we do it the right way. And I prefer to talk about my own program, because I think I can talk about our program, often. and with great pride. So I just don't like, the smart remarks or, if I had his team, all I would do is talk about his team because he has a tremendous team. That team should be favored in every game this year, minus the Kansas game. That's how good I think they are. I just got done voting I'm on a voting panel for the mid-major top 25. I vote for them every week. Got a tremendous amount of respect for the talent that's in that program right now. That team should run away with the MAC on talent and on paper, and I hope they do. I just hope that they don't play well one game, every year. And this is not about, I heard Pete Iorizzo talking earlier, and you guys, we do get along. We have a public appearance we have to make together tomorrow, so it should be interesting. But from my end, I like Jimmy, and I don't want anybody to think otherwise. I love his team. So when you have a team like that, worry about your team because it's a pretty darn good product.
Hey, Will, let me ask you, that was time with Will Brown. Jimmy Patso scheduled in studio on Wednesday, and we're off Thursday, Friday, and the hype to Sunday. Have you, since all this has come out and what Jimmy said a couple of weeks ago that you took exception to, have you guys text back and forth? Has been any dialogue between you two to try to clear things up, or have you tried to reach out to him at all?
No, I have not reached out to him. He texted me, I believe it was the day after he made those comments to you guys on the radio the first time, and he texted me the next morning saying that he was at Dunkin' Donuts on Route 7, I believe, yes. Serving coffee and donuts, and told me to stop in. And I don't know where we were. I think we were in. We were on the road, I know that, and I believe I gave a short comment back. We're on the road, but nothing elaborate. Again, this isn't about the two coaches. This is about the kids playing the game on Sunday, and again, I love the fact how important basketball is to Siena, to their fans. They've done a really good job over the years, and like I said, Jimmy's got a terrific team, and this is it, Raj, for me. I mean, I'm talking to you guys now. We'll be open to the media on Friday, and obviously I've got to answer some questions about the game on Friday, but I'm talking to you and Chris about it, and then just trying to prepare and get ready for Siena. Also try to enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday a little bit as well.
Hey, Will, I think we might have a question here about the Mohegan Sun tournament coming up, but do you like, and I know this is just kind of the way the schedule falls, not that unless it was planned this way, you can correct me. I'm assuming it wasn't planned this way, that you've now got all week to kind of wait for the Siena rivalry game. Do you like the way this has set up for your team to have all week and not have a game midweek maybe that may take attention away?
Well, I think what happened for us scheduling wise, we went out to Penn State and we stayed on the road all that time. So we were gone Thursday to Tuesday because we went right from Penn State to Cincinnati, and we traveled back on Tuesday, play Oneonta on Wednesday, got to get ready on Thursday, then we play Thursday and Friday, then we play Saturday, Sunday. We played a tremendous Grand Canyon team on Saturday, and we played Brown on Sunday. And we're actually, it just worked out this way. We usually try to play one game Thanksgiving weekend, and because we played back-to-back Saturday, Sunday, we weren't going to do anything before Thanksgiving because that's just way too many games in a short period of time. So we're giving our guys off Monday and Tuesday. Not having Jerron, we've had an 8-man rotation going into the season. Losing Jerron Lands really hurts us. He'll be out for a couple of weeks, I would imagine. Losing him drops us down to a 7-man rotation. I feel like we're going into the game with Siena like we did last year when we didn't have Peters and Charles down 2 big bodies. Now, we're down a big body, which I think you need against Siena because I think they're big and physical up front. So I think this gives us a time to rest and rejuvenate Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we get an opportunity to really figure out what we want to do heading into a game on Sunday against a team that is extremely talented, where, in my opinion, we should be a heavy underdog. And that's not coach talk. That's just respect to the talent and the personnel that they have on their roster right now, with 4 seniors who, in my opinion, are all MAC caliber seniors. I think Bisping and Wright are Player of the Year candidates in that league. Ogiemi's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and Clareth, can potentially be leading scorer in the entire MAC. We have our hands full. So we need to get rejuvenated and then have a good couple of days of practice and get ready for a really good Siena team that I think our kids will be excited to play. I think their kids will be excited to play, and we have to put a game plan together. I have a strong idea of what we need to do to have a puncher's chance in this game. This needs to be an X's and O's game, a game from the shoulders up, a chess match. If this is a pickup game, we might as well not even play it because we've got no shot.
Let me ask you this. In terms of your weekend, were you happy with the way your team played and the split that you got at the Mohegan Sun?
I was happy with the split. It beats the alternative going 0-2. I was not happy with how we played, this weekend. I think, the first half of each game, we didn't show up, ready to play, in my opinion. This group just really hasn't developed a sense of urgency up to this point, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Raj, you've been around these guys a little bit. It's early in the year. We've got great kids. This is new to our perimeter guys. I mean, Marquise Grayson, it's his first year in Division I. David Nichols, tremendously talented kid, sat behind Evan Singletary last year. And then Joe Cremo goes from a guy playing 20 minutes a game and being really an afterthought on a scouting report to now playing 35 minutes a night and being a go-to guy where the other team is devising a game plan to stop him. And, I don't think as a group right now, we're playing about 20 minutes a game. I think at Penn State, we played, pretty good basketball, overall. I just think since that Penn State game, we had a good solid 25 minutes against Cincinnati. I thought against Grand Canyon, good 20 minutes. Against Brown, I thought we had about a good 20 minutes total. And, a lot of those lapses really are on the defensive side of the ball, whether it's transition defense or our half-court defense in general. Our half-court defense can't be good if we're getting beat consistently one-on-one. And then sometimes you are going to get beat, based on playing against talented teams and talented players, and our rotations have got to be rock solid. So, the good thing is we're sitting at 3-2. We lost to a nationally ranked Cincinnati team, and in my opinion, an NCAA tournament caliber team, a team that's probably going to win the WAC in Grand Canyon. Thunder Dan can really coach, and he's got some talented players. And, of course, the first game that we play, the first game in Mohegan Sun is the first game back for their point guard, Russell, because he was suspended for a couple of games. And I think we saw how good Russell really is, and I think Maris found that out the next night as well. The kid was outstanding. So to be 3-2, I think that's a good place for us right now. I just don't like, I think that we potentially could be 4-1 because I think we could have won that Grand Canyon game. We just dug ourselves a little bit of a hole. But with that being said, I do think Grand Canyon's a better basketball team than we are right now. Just more experience and toughness right now at this point.
All right, Will, Sunday, Siena, how do you look from an X's and O's standpoint, this matchup, and how do you go about trying to win this game?
Yeah, I think the one thing with Siena, when they put their, I'm assuming, they're going to have their full roster for this game. I have no idea, but the 5, those 4 seniors and Clareth, They can score from all 5 spots on the floor. So I think they're very dangerous. I think it's very important for us to not allow them to get in any type of rhythm. I think they're a rhythm team. I think if they get comfortable, especially on the offensive end, I think they can put up a lot of points from different positions. I think what we have to do is really make sure we get the best shot we can get every time down the floor. Make them defend and make them defend for long stretches. I think if this is an up and down 94-foot pickup game, we have no shot. Does that mean we're going to try to walk the ball up the floor? No, but we're going to try to swing the ball side to side, force them to rotate, force them to defend. I think that gives us the best chance to win. And then defensively, we've got to do a good job of closing down driving lanes and not allowing the big boys to get deep post position. But I'll tell you what, last year we played poorly, I thought, overall. And I just thought the difference was on the glass last year. I mean, we had Steyer and Rowley, and then outside of those two, we had to play Dallas Enema at 6'5" at the power forward spot, and you can't do that against Siena because again, we didn't have Peters and Charles. I'm really concerned that that we're not going to have Lands in this game because he's a guy for sure that can rebound with those guys and attack the rim with those guys. But with that being said, I think we'll have a good, solid game plan. We got to make this a chess match. I think there's certain advantages that we have for sure, and we got to make this an X and O and a cerebral game. We got to play it from the shoulders up and try to keep them off balance. I think they're, like I said, I mean, this isn't a coach pumping up a team. On paper, 1 through 5, nobody in the MAC has the talent that they have. I'm not talking about how they play as a team. I'm just talking about the talent they have. Personnel 1 through 5. There's not a team in the MAC that's close to Siena on paper. And I really do believe that outside of Kansas, they should be favored in every game that they play this year, including us. So this is going to be a tough game for us. We respect their program, respect their personnel, and it's going to be a tremendous challenge, for us. I think our guys will be ready, but you can't get too emotional, in these games. And Pete Irizzo said it best earlier, Raj. We want to win this game for our fans, for our alums, for our university. Siena wants to do the same, and I'm not speaking for Siena, but if we win it, it's not going to impact whether we win the America East or we don't win the America East. If they win it, it's not going to impact whether they win the MAC or lose the MAC. And whoever loses the game, it's the same thing. It's one game. It's a big game in this area. We both want to win it. We're both going to compete. At the end of the day, we've got a lot of games left, on our schedule. So I think we have to put it all in, into perspective.
Will, just in the last minute we have here...
Cutting me off. Only one more minute, huh?
Well, hey, new platform. I can't. I have no control now. In the little bit time we have here, Coach, I know Jimmy Patsos this morning said, I didn't hear the interview, but I read some quotes that, he believes that this game is important, wants to continue playing it. I don't know how both sides come together and agree upon that, but where do you stand on this rivalry? You've been part of it longer than Coach Patsos has. How important do you feel this game is? And I guess then, how do you continue this thing?
It's important for sure. Want to play it for sure. I said this earlier, and I think it's hard to debate this. This is a series. It's supposed to be a series, and when you play a series, you go to one school one time, and then the following year it goes to the other school. So, in my opinion, it needs to be a true home and home. Like next year, we're playing in their building. However everybody wants to spin it, we're playing on their home court at the Times Union Center. So that following year, it should come back to the CEFCU. I want to play the game. Great game for the community, all that stuff, but it is a series, and it should be a home-and-home series, and we rotate it every year. So if it doesn't continue, and this is more than a year down the road,
right.
If it doesn't continue, it's not going to be our fault because I'm looking at it as a series, and series rotate, every single year. I think it's fair to both schools, fair to both programs. I get that they don't like it, their fans don't like it, but that's the way series work.
Coach, thanks for a few minutes. Always a pleasure. We'll talk to you end of the week, and if I don't talk to you before then, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Hey, you guys enjoy the holiday. Eat a lot of food, and don't worry about us crazy coaches.
I'll see you, Will. Thanks.
Have a good one, guys.
You too, man.
That's Head Coach Will Brown with plenty to say here on the show this morning.